Hi, I'm Olivia. You know how birthdays are supposed to be special? Well, mine turned into a nightmare that changed everything. I had just turned 28, and all I wanted was a simple dinner with my family to share some amazing news. Spoiler alert, my mother had other plans. Really, Olivia? Marketing executive? That's going to take so much of your time, Mom said, her lips curling into that all too familiar frown of disapproval. She pushed her plate away, already ruining the mood at Lorenzo's, my favorite Italian restaurant. Diana, let her finish, Dad said, adjusting his glasses nervously. Ever the peacekeeper, he meant well but never really stood up to her, not when it mattered. I'm really proud of you, sis, my younger brother Tommy said, flashing me a small smile. But I could see the tension in his eyes. He'd been stuck in the same sales job for 2 years, and Mom never let him forget it. Thanks, Tommy, I said, squeezing his hand under the table. Despite Mom's best efforts to pit us against each other, we'd stayed close. But what about your brother? Mom's voice grew louder, drawing the attention of nearby tables. He needs connections. You could have at least recommended him for something at your company. My best friend Emma, who I'd invited for moral support, chimed in. Mrs. Peterson, Olivia worked really hard for this promotion. Maybe we could. Stay out of family matters, Mom snapped, cutting Emma off. I tried to salvage the evening by opening my presents. Emma handed me a small box containing a beautiful silver necklace. To new beginnings, the card read. But before I could fully appreciate it, Mom snatched it from my hands. You don't deserve this, she hissed, her voice dripping with contempt. Not when your brother is struggling. Without warning, she dropped the necklace into her water glass. Mom, Tommy protested, but she wasn't done. One by one, she grabbed my other gifts. Dad's concert tickets, torn in half. Tommy's thoughtful gift, a vintage camera I'd been eyeing for months, smashed on the floor. I sat frozen, tears threatening to spill as she destroyed everything in front of me. Diana, stop this. Dad finally raised his voice, but it was too late. I stood, my cheeks damp with tears. You've always hated my success, I said, my voice trembling. Every single time something good happens to me, you ruin it. The slap came out of nowhere. The restaurant fell silent. My cheek burned, but it was the satisfaction in her eyes that stung the most. Now you're just being dramatic, she said, as if she hadn't just humiliated me in public. Emma was already on her feet, her phone recording everything. Tommy looked horrified. Dad sat there, mouth open, useless as always. I grabbed my purse, my hands shaking. Congratulations, Mom, I said, my voice steady despite the tears. You just lost a daughter. Olivia, wait. Dad called after me, but I was done waiting. Done hoping she'd change. Done letting her hurt me. Emma followed me out, her arm around my shoulders. You're staying with me tonight. No arguments. Her apartment became my sanctuary that night. While she made hot chocolate, I sat on her couch, scrolling through old emails, trying to make sense of everything. That's when I noticed something odd. Emma, come look at this, I said, turning my laptop toward her. Remember that marketing internship I applied for in college? The one I got rejected from. She leaned over my shoulder, reading. Wait, this acceptance email is dated before the rejection letter you showed me. My stomach sank. Back then, Mom had access to my email. She helped set it up. My hands shook. She must have deleted the acceptance and forwarded me a fake rejection. My phone buzzed. Olivia, I need to tell you something. Tommy's voice sounded strained. She's been telling me for years that you said things about me. That you thought I was stupid, that you laughed at me behind my back. Tommy, I would never. I know that now, he said, his voice cracking. I found her phone. There are texts to Dad about keeping us apart, about making sure I stayed humble while you didn't get too big for your boots. Before I could respond, another voice spoke in the background. Is that Olivia? Let me talk to her. Mark? I recognized my colleague's voice instantly. What are you doing there? Your brother came to the office looking for you. Olivia, your mother called HR 3 times today trying to get you fired. Claimed you were unstable, dangerous. Good thing I was there to intercept. I felt sick. Emma, sitting beside me, squeezed my shoulder as I put the phone on speaker. She what? My voice was shaking. Don't worry, Mark continued. I've documented everything. HR's on your side, but you might want to consider legal action. Then came Dad's text. Princess, your mother's upset. She wants you to apologize. I showed Emma the message, laughing bitterly. He's still enabling her. Actually, Tommy's voice wavered. There's more. Remember your college fund? The one that mysteriously ran dry senior year? My stomach dropped. No. I found bank statements, Tommy said quietly. Mom transferred it all to my account. She said it was early inheritance because you didn't deserve it. Emma grabbed my phone before I could throw it. That's theft, Olivia. We're talking serious money. Tommy sent me everything, I said, my voice sounding strange even to myself. Every text, every email, every document. Already downloading them, Tommy replied. Mark's helping me make copies. As I processed the betrayal, a plan began to form. Hey, Mark, I said. Remember that family charity gala you mentioned? The one your grandmother is hosting next week. Exactly, Mark said, catching on. I met Emma's eyes. She nodded, already pulling out her notebook. Let's do this right, she said. No more hiding. No more enabling. The gala was the perfect stage. Grandmother Helen's mansion was already buzzing with family and acquaintances when I arrived with Emma and Mark. Tommy had texted earlier, Mom's here, holding court as usual. Mark tapped his phone discreetly. Testing, testing. The mix are live in the dining room and parlor. You're sure this will work? Trust me, I said, fidgeting with my necklace, a replacement for the one Mom had destroyed, courtesy of Emma. Everything's recording to multiple devices, Mark assured me. No way she can delete this. Grandmother Helen spotted us first. Olivia, darling. She hugged me tightly, whispering, Tommy told me everything. I'm so sorry I didn't see it sooner. Mom's voice cut through the room. Oh, look who finally decided to grace us with her presence. And she brought an audience too. Diana, Dad said, stepping forward, his expression unusually stern. We agreed. No scenes tonight. Scenes? Mom let out a sharp laugh. I'm not the one who stormed out of a family dinner like a teenager. Or should we talk about why she left? She left because you slapped her, Tommy said, stepping beside me. Or are we pretending that didn't happen? The room fell silent. Mom's smile faltered but quickly returned, wider and faker than ever. Tommy, sweetie, you know your sister has always been dramatic. Always competing with you, always trying to overshadow your achievements. My achievements? Tommy's voice rose. Like the job offers you hid from me? The training programs you said I wasn't good enough for. He glared at her. You sabotaged me. I was protecting you, Mom snapped. By lying about Olivia? Tommy shot back. By stealing her college fund. Mom's mask finally slipped. Everything I did was for you, both of you. No, I said, stepping forward. Everything you did was for yourself. Your control, your ego, your sick need to keep us down. How dare you? She lunged forward, hand raised, but Dad caught her wrist. Not again, Diana, he said firmly. For the first time, he stood between her and us. But the real shock came from behind me. Get out of my house. Grandmother Helen's voice was ice cold. Mother, you can't be serious, Mom stammered. Oh, I am, Helen said. And tomorrow, the Children's Charity Board will receive some very interesting recordings, along with proof of what you did to Olivia's college fund. Mom's face went white. You wouldn't dare. Try me, I said, pulling out my phone. I've got years of evidence. Every lie, every manipulation, every crime. Want to hear some greatest hits? The whole family's here, the perfect audience. You ungrateful little. She grabbed a glass of wine, flinging it toward me. Phones recorded as Dad pulled her back, and she screamed threats and accusations. Her mask didn't just slip, it shattered completely. The weeks after the gala were a whirlwind of consequences. Mom's carefully constructed world crumbled piece by piece. Tommy handed me a coffee as we sat in my new apartment. She's out, he said. Turns out embezzling from your daughter's college fund doesn't look great on a children's charity resume. How's Dad holding up? I asked. Therapy, twice a week, finally dealing with 30 years of enabling her. He asked if you'd meet him for lunch next month, just you and him. I stirred my coffee, considering. Maybe after a few more therapy sessions. Emma burst into the room, waving her phone like a flag. You're not going to believe this. Your mom's sister found her old diaries. Apparently, she pulled the same stunts 20 years ago. sabotaging her college roommate's job offers, spreading rumors, the whole playbook. Mark glanced up from his laptop. That'll definitely help with the case. The legal proceedings moved faster than expected. Mom's threats at the gala, the restaurant meltdown, and years of documented harassment left her with two choices: accept the restraining order and mandatory counseling or face criminal charges. She took the deal. 3 months after everything unraveled, I sat with grandmother Helen in her sunroom, sipping tea as sunlight poured over her lush garden. "Your father's filed for divorce, by the way," she said, as casually as if she were commenting on the weather. "About time, if you ask me." "Better late than never," I replied, watching butterflies flit among the flowers. "How's the new charity director working out?" she asked. "Tommy's doing amazing," I said with a smile. Her eyes twinkled. "Turns out he has quite a talent for nonprofit management. Who knew?" Well, besides everyone, except Mom. Tommy had finally found his calling. All those sales jobs he hated were just another way for her to keep him stuck. Now, running the charity's outreach programs, he was thriving. Dad was changing too. Last week, he actually apologized, really apologized. Not the usual peacekeeping platitudes, but a heartfelt admission of his mistakes. We were taking it slow, rebuilding our relationship on honest ground. Later that evening, Emma dropped by with a bottle of wine. "Congratulations, Senior Executive Director of Marketing," she said, grinning as she handed it over. "Not bad for someone whose mother said would never amount to anything," I joked. Mark appeared a moment later, holding a cake. "Happy birthday, Olivia." For a second, I froze. After last year's disaster, I'd almost forgotten birthdays could be good. But as the apartment filled with laughter and love, Emma, Mark, Tommy, Dad, Grandmother Helen, and even a few cousins who'd cut ties with Mom after the gala, I realized how far I'd come. "Make a wish," Tommy urged as I faced the candles. I looked around at my real family, the one I'd chosen and the ones who'd chosen me back. "I don't need to," I said, smiling. "I've got everything I want right here." Mom's last message came through her lawyer. She was moving across the country and wanted to reconcile. I deleted it without responding. Some bridges are meant to stay burned. "You okay?" Emma asked, noticing my expression. I nodded, smiling softly. "Yeah, I'm free." The best revenge wasn't exposing her, or even the legal consequences and social fallout. It was this: being happy, successful, and surrounded by love. Everything she tried to prevent. Living well truly is the best revenge. What about you? If you discovered a parent had been sabotaging your life for years, how would you handle it? Would you expose them publicly like Olivia, or keep it private? Have you ever had to choose between family loyalty and your own well-being? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Every family has its secrets, but where do you draw the line between forgiveness and self-preservation? If Olivia's story resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button.